Good morning, Internet. I appreciate you listening to this channel. When you are dealing with narcissists or narcissistic people, NPDs, all those other folks, they come at you in different ways. I mean, the traits are typically the same, but the gender does change a few things because every gender has a bit of skin in the game that is kind of biological. And so I'm going to do a two-parter. I'm going to talk about male narcissists and female narcissists separately because I've dealt with both. My former love interests were all narcissistic. They were all coverts. So I had to work with overt narcissist bosses as far as men goes. But as far as dating, I dealt with male covert narcissists or fragile narcissists. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit on the male side about what I saw. So then that way you can know, I guess, how to go ahead and figure them out and to avoid them if you can. So I want to talk about the overt male narcissist first. Here is a theme with narcissists that makes men easier to figure out than women, is that men want two things and two things only. That is glory and sex. Everything is always going to come to those two things. They either want to be praised by their peers or they want to have sex with the best option possible that's going to make them look good. Either way, it's all about glory and sex. So that's what makes everything very easy to figure out. So the typical male narcissist is always going to be charming, handsome, and or well-dressed. If they are ugly, they're always going to be prim and proper and groomed. If they're not ugly, they're always going to kind of let their best traits show. Now, there's one thing, right, in being naturally handsome. There's one thing about, taking care of your looks. But there's another thing about being immaculately groomed. Now, some people do have great grooming habits. I know I do, right? That doesn't make you a narcissist. But narcissistic people look good intentionally to attract other people. They're vampires, right? I mean, who wants to get close to an ugly vampire? Nobody, right? But, the very attractive, groomed, perfectly set, like all eyes are on him. That is going to be a very narcissistic person. And they could be, beach bummy. They could have like the surfer dude look going on or the grunge look or, the hipster look. But you're going to notice that they're always going to look extraordinarily good. They're always going to wear something that's going to be expensive. Something's going to catch your eye about them. Second, male narcissists can't be alone. They can't. Even covert narcissists, they have to have something. Even the nerdy ones, they either have online friends or something, but they can't be by themselves. Being by themselves means that they have to listen to their own thoughts, right? And they don't like hearing that they're shitty people inside. Oh, I cursed, sorry. But they don't like hearing their inner monologues of how horrible they are, how insecure they are. So they always have to have a pack of friends. If they're overts, they always got to have their boys, right? It's always got to be a herd of them. If they're fragile narcissists, quiet, introverted narcissists, then they always have online friends. You'll see them, playing games online. You'll see them on social media a lot. But they can't be by themselves. Very rarely are they loners. And even if they are loners, like outside, they are very charming if they work in an office environment. Like, people love these people, right? Because they need to have them around them. So no matter where a narcissist is, he is never by himself. He's always got to have some kind of clique, some kind of something, right? Always. So if you see them alone, I guarantee you either they have an online presence that's very, very big, or they have their own group. It could be a sports group, could be their office coworkers, but they always have to have a group of people around them because they need a validation, aka supply. Male narcissists are pros at lying. Oh my God. It doesn't matter if they're overt or covert. They are pros at lying. Pros at lying. And it's not even like they lie over silly stuff. Like they're always lying. It could be just small white lies, but you'll never get the truth out of them. Or if it is a truth, it's always sprinkled with a lie, always. So, I mean, it could be as simple as, what did you have for breakfast? And all of a sudden they have the best breakfast in the world, knowing they only had like coffee and donuts, but they'll always throw in the coffee and donuts part. They are pros at lying because they always know how to entangle the truth with the lie. A little bit of truth and a little bit of lie always makes the lie valid. And so, when they tell you that, oh, this is a hetero narcissist, mind you, I'm not homosexual, so I'm just coming from a cis straight woman, is that they're always going to tell you that a little bit of the truth. Oh, well, she was an old friend, but they're not going to tell you, oh, she's an old friend that I'm banging right now and you don't know. Or they're going to say, oh, well, I spent this much and, in this grocery store, but they're not going to tell you about like the new J's or the new car that they bought after they went to the grocery store. They're pros at lying. They know how to balance a little bit. So they are good at triangulation. Now, I know you've heard this term before, which means they have you and they have someone else and they have someone else. Triangulation basically means that they know how to spin plates. They know how to keep the attention of multiple people and use those people against each other. So it's all about control and getting you to do what they want at the end of the day. So let's just say like you are dating a narcissist, right? But he's also dating someone else. You're not exclusive. And then a sample of triangulation, or spinning plates as I call it, is that, oh, well, Becky knows how to make better coffee than this. Or, she dresses in pink and I really like that. It's a way to make you feel insecure and insignificant. And at the same time, to go and emotionally and mentally break you down so then you'll be easier to control. That's what that means. And believe me when I tell you that Becky is also getting an earful of it too, of like, oh, well, Selena, she knows how to cook this and it's really super good. It reminds me of my mother. Or Selena has a better paying job, blah, blah, blah. It's just a way for them to keep on top and to keep everyone in their herd under control. Narcissists are notoriously bad with money. Now, don't get it twisted. They either have an off switch or an on switch. Either they hoard a lot of money or they spend a lot of money, but they are not moderate with their spending habits. I think it's just because of the impulse control of like they feel entitled to have whatever they want when they want it. It doesn't matter. So it's not unusual to see narcissists in a lot of debt. So if you are dealing with someone who has a huge chunk of debt, know that that probably is a sign of a narcissist. Now, I know some people are just like, why are you talking about money, Supernova? Because a lot of people forget that. A lot of people forget that when you are in a relationship, you do not want to be with someone who doesn't have their finances under control, because at the end of the day, you're going to be the one paying it. And it doesn't matter who the narcissist is. Narcissistic men always have to buy what they're into. It could be shoes. It could be cars. It could be magazines. It could be video games. It doesn't matter. You are not important, especially if you're married. You are not important when it comes to their wallet. So you're going to end up paying most of the bills, if not all of them. And they're going to give you some horrible excuse about why they can't pay the bills. They could be alcoholic. They could be drug addicts. They could be gambling addicts. It doesn't matter. Either they're going to spend all their money and you're going to pay the bills, or they're going to hoard all their money and they won't give you any and you're still going to pay the bills. So that's a really big sign that you're dealing with a narcissist. Narcissists are perfect at making a ghost act when it comes to responsibility. If you ever confront a narcissistic male and you're like, look, I've seen all that you've done and I have receipts, I have proof. Oh, That song with Shaggy sang, "It wasn't me." Oh, that's a narcissist's favorite line. "It wasn't me. It was someone else. You don't know what you saw. Oh, how could you think this?" They are great when it comes to Darvo. Darvo is a term that is used in the University of Oregon. It is an abbreviation for abusive people. You need to know what Darvo is because it doesn't matter what your race is. It doesn't matter what your gender is. You need to know what Darvo means because Darvo is the playbook of all narcissistic people. It doesn't matter if they are overt or boisterous narcissists or inverted, fragile, covert narcissists. They all use Darvo. Darvo means deny, attack, reverse victim, and you are the offender. That is Darvo. So let me break down Darvo for you a little bit more. Deny means I didn't do it. Attack means how can you accuse me? Reverse victim means oh my God, you're against me. And offender means that you're the one who's responsible for all this. This is the key action that narcissists use to basically get themselves out of hot water. And they make you feel like you're the guilty one. So when it comes to not accepting responsibility, all narcissists, it doesn't matter what the gender, it doesn't matter what the race, they all use Darvo. Last but not least, male narcissists need to feel important all the time. Now, this is where it's going to get a little bit dark, so I apologize, but you have to understand that narcissists are children, and children want the best of everything, and they want it now. When it comes to men, this is where the dark side of men comes out. Now, I'm not hating on men because, believe me, when I get into the women's side of narcissistic abuse, I'm going to get into them too. But men who are narcissistic are dangerous. It doesn't matter if they physically put their hands on you or not. They're always dangerous because they feel like they are important. And to keep that importance, they are going to do anything and everything they can to make sure that you are going to be the little guy and they are going to be the big guy. It could be as lying in their job to basically get a promotion and take your work. Or if you're in a relationship, it could be as much as having sex with other women and not using protection. It could be physical abuse. It could be spending all the money in the house. It doesn't matter. When it comes to feeling important, a male narcissist puts this above all else. They must be the star of the show. They must be the spoiled kid in the room. And they will make sure that you will suffer for it if they're not. So if you are with a male narcissist, if you have a career and that outshines them, oh well, you're going to get it sooner or later. It could be verbal, it could be sabotage. If you're trying to go to school, maybe some of you have gone to school and you're like, oh, I'm going to go to college. And then your narcissist is trying to stop you from studying by being too loud. Or you're trying to go on a diet. And then the narcissist all of a sudden, brings in pizza and chicken wings and, Subway. This is basically the narcissist's way of trying to make you feel like you are less because they, instead of them kind of rising up to your level, they're going to break you down to their level. So male narcissists, this is basically their MO. If it's not about sex, it's about power. Very, very simple. And if you can always ask that question, whatever they do, is it somebody else they want to sleep with or is it somebody else they want to impress? That's what makes them easier than female narcissists. So thanks a lot, Internet. I'm going to go back to my coffee. Talk to you later.